Hi, I'm Michael Berg, Director of Youth with a Mission Orlando. I'm coming to you today to not as the director, but as a father. You know, we hear a lot about gap year right now, and many of us are, as we raise our children, we're very concerned about the competitive nature of universities and jobs and careers and wondering, will our kids be successful? And certainly that's our desire, is to do everything we can to make sure that our children thrive in this new changing world. And I looked at this whole idea of gap year. Basically, we talk about it here at Youth with a Mission Orlando as giving a year to God. Not that we want people just to give merely 1 year to God. We obviously want everybody to live their whole lives for the Lord. But to take a year aside, somewhere between high school and university, or right after university before starting a career, and spending a year in mission where you get some missionary training and missionary experience, exposure to cross-cultural opportunities, learning how to communicate your faith in an effective way. And as I thought about that for my children, I really wrestled with, how's this going to impact their university training? Will it have a negative impact? They all had scholarships coming out of high school, and I thought, what's going to happen to the scholarships? And I discovered in our process personally that if they would apply for university, be accepted, get their scholarships in place, and then ask for a year deferment, they were able to get that without any difficulty. In fact, our daughter not only got that deferment for the year, kept all her scholarships in place. In fact, she actually gained an additional scholarship by waiting another year. Well, that was my personal experience, but I thought, well, is that isolated? Is that just, my experience? And like you, I had concerns. But as I've done some research, I realized many of the Ivy League schools actually prefer their students to have a gap year experience. Research has shown that, when a student has done a gap year, they have renewed motivation. And many times their gap year, where they have a cross-cultural experience and they've experienced missions, actually helps to impact their academic major choice, if you will, because through those life experiences, they discover what they're personally more passionate about, and they'll choose a major based on that. And as a result, they're a more motivated student. Another thing that kind of surprised me, actually, those that actually take a gap year, their GPA when they graduate is higher than those who don't. I think, what is that about? Oh, I think it's got a lot to do with motivation as a result of that. So I have found that if we give our children to the Lord first, and having an opportunity to serve Him first in building His kingdom somewhere on the planet, it actually radically and strongly impacts their future in a positive way as they choose their career. Some will choose to be long-term missionaries, and that'll be their career choice. But most are going to choose to work in some other career choice, some other career path that is not your vocational Christian ministry, but they'll be ministers nonetheless in places like the business world and medicine and entertainment and the arts. And so I think it's a great opportunity and a great investment in the lives of our young sons and daughters if we would encourage them and support them in spending a year being intentional in sharing their faith and growing in their faith before they engage in university, coming out of high school and going into college. I want to encourage you to consider that.